that we have completed the letterbox model, we're going to take it into the drawings menu and we're going to make some working drawings. We're going to start with an orthographic drawing, which is one of the standards in level 1 NCEA and is part of the working drawing standard at level 2 and level 3. So if I just pop into design, and we've got drawing here. Now you are going to go from design, and when that menu comes up, just press OK. But I'm not going to do that because I've already got mine open over here with the one I have prepared earlier. So if we have a look here, this is an orthographic drawing. So an orthographic drawing is a two-dimensional view of a product or building. It will have measurements on it for anyone who's coming along and making that product or building. This particular drawing has some hidden details, so we can see where we have our tray and we have our door and how that all works. So we're going to start with making one of those. So when you get into the menu, you'll have this, just a blank page, and it will have the letterbox just like this, and you get the chance to place your first view. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but I'm just going to give you a few pointers for the tools that you are going to need to use to make your orthographic drawing. So you just click where you want your first view of the drawing to be, and we're staying with the front view. You can change it, so if you want to change with a different view, if you haven't done it the same way that I did, you can start with a different view. But you also want to start with a 2D view. Okay, so we've done that. We press OK. And you can see there we've just got the outlines of the letterbox. Now, what I think is a good thing to do is you might just want to go through and turn off those rivets that we put in. Just because they are, they are probably not going to be part of a drawing like this. You would put them into an exploded drawing. So in order to get rid of them, I'm just toggling the little eye tool there to turn them off. Okay, so we've got our first view. We've got a front view of our letterbox. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we're going to click projected view. And then what we can do with this is we can just project the view that we want. So we see there that we've got the left hand side of the letterbox. And if I click here again, go to projected view, I can get the right hand side of the letterbox. So all of these can just be moved individually if you just sort of click on them, for which one you want to actually move, or you can hold the shift key and you can sort of move them all together. Okay, so with one of the criteria in the standards, or with it all changing, there is mention of hidden details. Hidden details extremely easy to add in Fusion 360, but I'll just show you a couple of things with that. So if you just double click in here, you get back to that original menu that you had. Just pay attention to the scale. I know this is not a deep dive on the requirements of the standards, but you do want to put a scale on your drawing in the title block that we'll do later. But so just do pay attention to the scale that's being used in this drawing. So it defaults to a scale that is appropriate for the drawing. You can change that too. Obviously, if you made that, if you made that a different scale, if you made that 1 to 2, it'd be much bigger. But we're just 1 to 5 is good for us. So we can change this to hidden details. All right. And I think with these tangent edges, you can. I would recommend having it on the full length, just because it's much easier to see, those hidden parts. Some of these sort of shortened ones or having it off are just a wee bit more complicated. So I would just go with the tangent at tangent edges, full length. And you can have a play around with those and just see what you want for your own drawing. But so that's how you get into it. The next thing we're going to do at Pan Tool, always very handy in Fusion 360, is we're going to add some dimensions. So we've got the dimensions menu up here. So our basic dimension that we can do. Oh, by the way, one thing that is quite good to do when you're just dimensioning things before you put in the hidden details is to just work with it with the visible edges, just because sometimes it's a little bit easier to put in those initial dimensions that we want. So very easy to turn it back on. So I'm going to pop into here and I'll just find this width across, and as you recall, that's 230 millimeters. So I just click on those edges that I want to put in, and let's put in this height. Okay. So you can see there 230 by 390. Now this one isn't in the best position, so we just want to move that. Sorry. Remember escape to get off a tool. So I just double click in here. Whoops. Double click in there and we've got the little anchor point, and you can just move that to where you need it to be. So with this particular design, we've got some angled planes that we want to show in the drawing, so someone looking at it knows what angle we actually want things to be. So what you can do is angular dimension. Now what you have to think about is what the angles are in relation to. So they're in relation to the horizontal plane in this case. So for this, I'm going to click the bottom of the letterbox, and then I'm going to click this one here, and you can see I've got that 5-degree angle put in there. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move this. I'm going to move this on the other side because I want to have that what is now 55-degree angle for this little sort of ledgy bit. So I'm going to go back into there, angular dimension, again making sure that I pick that horizontal plane so it's got that relationship going. Then I'm going to click this one and I'll just zoom out a bit, and I can put that 55-degree angle line in there. Other ones, obviously you've got the dimension of the diameter, so we've got this circle to put in. So one thing with working drawings is one piece of advice I can give you is don't try and be too fancy. Don't try and fool the markers. Just make your drawings as clear as possible. And just a reminder that you do need to submit your own work. So really important just to remember that it has to be your designs, and you really have to be thinking through how these things actually go together. Okay, so we've got that one in there. Go back to projected view. Whoops, that's placing the view. I'm going to go in here, get that top view. And you can sort of see how I was able to, put that together. Okay. Another thing that we can do for NCEA, you want to like label your views. So obviously this view here is going to be one that we want, the plan view. So if I just go to text, and you can just make yourself a little text box. It sort of defaults to Arial 3.5. I'm old school, so I think doing stuff in capitals is a good idea. Center that, and then that one's just like anything else. You can just sort of move it to be, where you need it to be. And you've got the little anchor, so that little circle is your anchor to move it around. Okay. Another thing is the title block. I was in here before doing the other one, but that won't be filled out for you, the technical reference, so that's a good place to put the scale. So just double click in here and you can just type in each of these boxes. If you sort of type and you get that effect, don't worry. If we just click off it, you can see it's just blank, so don't worry about that. If you didn't save your work, you're a bad person, but you should make sure that you give this a title, all right? And if you haven't saved your work, save it right now. So you want to make sure that your drawings are titled. And another thing, just with reference to NCEA, you might have several drawings, so that you're doing, if you're doing particularly the level 2 or the level 3 standard, you might have a drawing which has hidden lines and one that doesn't. So just make sure that you've got you've got your drawing number and you've got your sheets numbered as well. Yeah, so just sort of common sense. Orthographic projection, obviously that's the drawing we want. And yeah, so just double click in there. The other thing is that orthographic drawing symbol. There is a special symbol for orthographic drawing. So I've just got one that I've found off the internet. Preferably portable network graphic because it's got a transparent background. Just a couple of things with this. See, that's probably the place I'd want to place it, just in there. But you've got this sort of insert image sort of stuff, so you can actually, move that image with the X and Y axis. So you should be pretty familiar with working with X and Y, and you can up and down the scale as well, and it will sort of do it in increments that are appropriate to what you want. Just move that across. All right. So that gives you a pretty good idea. Just quickly, if you before I go, you've got the export. So you want to export that as a PDF. Yep, you want to have the line weights. Can open the PDF afterwards. Actually, I won't do that. I'll go export current sheet. You might want to do all of them. Much better for printing. Yes. So you can see there you get your lovely PDF ready to print once you've put in all of your titles that you need to have. So you'll need main elevation, and you'll need left-hand elevation and right-hand elevation. Okay, well I think that about does it. We'll see you next time.